On Tuesday, President Bola Tinubu reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to supporting the African Union (AU) in its efforts to ensure stability and prosperity across the African continent. This assurance was given during a bilateral meeting held in New York on Monday with President Azali Assoumani, the President of the Union of Comoros and Chairperson of the African Union. President Tinubu emphasized the strategic importance of the African Union in securing consensus positions for Africa on economic and socio-political relations with the rest of the world, highlighting Nigeria's strong support for these endeavors. He stressed that embracing freedom and constitutional order were fundamental prerequisites for sustainable development, and he commended the AU's initiatives to promote peace in regions such as the Sahel and Sudan. President Tinubu expressed his willingness to engage in discussions with President Azali Assoumani at any time to address the peace and stability of AU member states. He underscored the importance of stability and prosperity for the African continent and the need to capitalize on the developmental opportunities available in the current era, emphasizing the importance of sustainable development. In response, President Azali Assoumani, as the AU chairperson, acknowledged the AU's aim to complement Nigeria's efforts in fostering peace and prosperity in Africa rather than competing with them. He emphasized the AU's responsibility in addressing power struggles that veer away from constitutional processes within African nations, and noted that stability was a crucial prerequisite for meaningful developmental partnerships, urging international actors like China and Russia to recognize their role in ensuring stability in nations affected by coups. Furthermore, as the President of the Union of Comoros, President Azali Assoumani expressed a desire to learn from Nigeria's experience in effectively managing diversity, conducting fair elections, and achieving sustained economic growth over the years.
Sanwolu expresses condolences for Mohbad's death, requests DSS participation in investigation. In the wake of the tragic passing of Afrobeats artist Mohbad, Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State has extended his condolences to the grieving family and the public. He also announced his intention to ensure a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding Mohbad's death. The governor revealed that he had been closely collaborating with relevant authorities and monitoring the ongoing investigations into the matter. To bolster these efforts, he has invited the Department of State Services (DSS) to join the investigation, emphasizing the importance of interagency collaboration and the use of advanced technology to uncover the truth. Sanwo-Olu has directed that anyone found to have played a role, regardless of how minor, in the events leading to Mohbad's death should face legal consequences following a comprehensive inquiry. He urged individuals with information that could aid the investigation to come forward and assured them of confidentiality and protection. Both the police and the DSS have pledged to provide periodic updates on their progress in the investigation. Governor Sanwo-Olu also appealed to the friends and fans of the late artist to refrain from making inflammatory comments while the probe is underway, emphasizing the importance of remaining calm and allowing the investigative process to unfold. In conclusion, Governor Sanwo-Olu expressed his condolences to Mohbad's family, friends, colleagues, and fans worldwide. He wished everyone love and solace during this difficult time and prayed for the peaceful repose of Mohbad's soul.
Thank you very much for keeping pace with us here at ONIF TV. This is Serious Matters, and my name is Kenneth. Please do share videos, others drop your comment, make them simple and civil. Well, this is not really good news for Nigeria as a whole, as US panel terminates Gbajabiamila's law license for stealing money. Well, the former Nigerian House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila has been terminated as a licensed lawyer of the State Bar of Georgia in the United States after his corruption and ethical lapses outstripped the acceptable threshold for members. Well, we got this from People's Gazette. Credit to the People's Gazette on this one. Well, the Nigerian politician who currently served as the chief of staff to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself, a man of uncountable scandals, was ostracized from the prestigious body as effective July 1, 2020. According to records recently obtained by us, well, he was found to have stolen money from a client and also failed to pay his membership fee. Mr. Gbajabiamila's disgrace in the U.S. underscores yet again the gulf between civilization that exerts fair and available instruments to foster accountability versus Nigeria, where transparently fraudulent odious figures are in charge of most consequential positions of authority. Very, very shameful. Coming up just about this time, and the truth is, whatever you do. Now, this had happened for quite some time and nobody talked about it. Yes, even though some persons have been, People's Gazette have been doing their job, trying to get details about what really happened and all of that. But then, Mr. Gbajabiamila had been, dodging the request for comments about this particular issue and all of that happened in the US. However, there's nothing hidden for life. It will always come to limelight, and that's exactly what happened. The Georgia bar official told the Gazette that Mr. Gbajabiamila's latest ordeal began when a client filed a grievance against him for theft. Mr. Gbajabiamila subsequently ignored the bar and stopped paying his fee and other membership obligations. Now, the Gazette was told that attempts were made to reach Mr. Gbajabiamila through his Peachtree Road address in Atlanta, but he frustrated it all. Only in July, to be precise, on July 2nd, 2015, Mr. Gbajabiamila was suspended for 5 years. We learned that the suspension was finally approved as a permanent termination of his membership on July 1st, 2020. Mr. Gbajabiamila was admitted to the bar of Georgia on June 9, 2001, was the Speaker of the House of Representatives at the time of his infraction in the U.S. He can no longer practice law in the state of Georgia, an official told us. He is done, from what the official said. Well, in a unanimous decision on February 26, 2007, the Supreme Court of Georgia approved the suspension of Mr. Gbajabiamila for 36 months after he admitted stealing $25,000 from a client. He was reinstated after serving out his suspension, only for him to commit another infraction that led to his final dismissal. Now, it's unfortunate that these persons are the ones in position. How do we expect to get anything out of this government, for crying out loud? We still have all the Chicago State certificate issue, still hanging there. Here we are again, the chief of staff. This is the chief of staff. He never take inside the office. So now they talk say he sell position. I don't understand. Where do you want to go with all this money that you are using to mess yourself up? How do we expect to get anything out of this government, for crying out loud? Well, okay, let's even accept President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and say, yes, he's our president. Of course he is. But then, what about the people that he is dependent on? Because, believe you me, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, all that gra you are seeing is basically because he has guys that he knows are capable around him. That's the truth. His dependence is solely on those guys, the team that he has been working with. Look at the recent appointment of Cardoso. These are guys that have been with him since. He knows they are the ones who can do the job without him blinking. He can go to bed with these guys doing the job. And that's the truth. Well, Mr. Gbajabiamila, who is now the serving chief of staff, who has only been a member of the bar since 2001, admits that he accepted payment of $25,000 as settlement of a client's personal injury claim, deposited those funds in his attorney trust account in January 2003, failed to promptly disburse those funds to his clients, withdrew those funds for his own use, closed his practice, and moved out of the country. The court said at the time. Mr. Gbajabiamila, who had already been a federal lawmaker for nearly 4 years before the verdict, paid the money back in 2006, a year before the judgment, in order to get lighter punishment, including being disbarred. Whereas Mr. Gbajabiamila, who has suffered the consequence of his known offense in the US, which spanned from the early arts through 2020. His corruption in Nigeria has gone unpunished. In 2021, Mr. Gbajabiamila was among top lawmakers and government ministers who received heavy bribe from private businessmen on undercut local communities in passing the controversial 2021 law regulating the Nigerian hydrocarbon industry. Heavy bribe. Let's build this nation, please. Let's build this nation. Recently, he was faced from within his own party that he received bribe to sell key government positions. A video produced by the ruling APC the ruling APC youth wing accused him of unbridled corruption that could severely, undermine Mr. Tinubu's administration. He has yet to deny the allegation, but some of his supporters accuse those behind the campaign as saboteurs. After spending the past 20 years as a federal lawmaker, the House Speaker and now President Tinubu's Chief of Staff, Mr. Bajabiamila, may not need to work again as a lawyer, said a political commentator, Ken Eluma. He also has little to be ashamed of since he is on Mr. Tinubu's team, with Wilson Wike, a notorious violent politician already condemned by foreign observers, and Atiku Bagudu, a former Kebbi governor who's infamous for laundering billions for departed Nigerian's dictator, Sani Abacha. All in government. What do we expect? A good tree will always produce good tree. A bad tree will always produce bad fruits. So what do you expect? May God help us in this country. Well, looking at the character serving with Mr. President, he has many reasons to brush this off. Mr. Sogma, an Abuja-based legal practitioner, said his inglorious days in the United States might be catching up with him, but you can't expect him to continue to thrive in Nigeria, where you can expect him to continue to thrive in Nigeria, where no one in power pays willful. Very, very interesting. I love that round. Willful infraction. When people are in power, they are free. You understand? They just move on as if nothing happened. Well, it is still serious matter, and very, very serious one. The kind of people we have in power and what we actually expect. They're two different things. Please do share our videos, others, drop your comment, make them simple and simple. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you. Bye-bye.